My name is Kevin Taylor. I'll be taking my time to run you through the Gcnet and Unipass scandal. I know lots of Ghanaians are confused about these two companies and issues about their contracts, their operations, and also why the government is misleading Ghanaians on this issue. Most Ghanaians are confused because there are lots of questions which have to be answered by this government. Questions like, is the government going to abrogate the contract of Gcnet and Unipass? And at what cost? Some of the questions are, if government does not intend to abrogate these contracts, how will all these companies operate on the single window platform? Some people too are asking, what is the implications for trade facilitations? What will the transition look like and what consequences will it have for trade facilitation and revenue mobilization? These are very valid questions that need answers. But before we can understand the issues, we have to have a clear, explicit idea of these two companies and what they bring on board to help boost revenue at our respective ports. We should not forget how the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, lauded Gcnet company for saving Ghana billions of dollars through their port operations from 2017 through to 2019. Now, this episode will be in two parts, part 1 and part 2. In this part, we will basically look into the activities and operations, the activities and operations of Gcnet and Unipass, their track record, and also what they bring on board as revenue generation companies. The second episode will be an expose on corrupt officials who took millions of dollars to help Unipass land a contract with the government of Ghana, even though Gcnet already has a contract with government of Ghana. Bank transactions, meetings, audio recordings, behind the scene pictures and videos. My fellow Ghanaians, this Gcnet Unipass scandal will shake the core of this nation. Let me remind you that the PDS scandal does not come close to this scandal. I mean this Unipass Gcnet scandal. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gcnet Unipass scandal part 1. This is With All Due Respect. So with all due respect, we have seen different kinds of explanations. Experts and government officials have given when it comes to the Gcnet and Unipass contractual agreement. Most people are confused because the mainstream media have decided to stick to jargons and terminologies to confuse the ordinary Ghanaian who at the end of the day will bear the cost. Yes, the Ghanaian will bear the cost, but the English the media is using or the experts are using are too big for the people to understand what this scandal is about. The senior minister, OSAFO MARFO, has been in the news again. He has been a problem because he has been involved in every criminal scandal this government and previous governments have seen. We're talking about the Kufuor's government all the way to this government. We can talk about the Kroll and Associates $1 million scandal. OSAFO MARFO actually headed that deal. Now, the Deputy Finance Minister, KWEKU, who is struggling to keep his seat at Obuasi, yes, he is Obuasi West MP and needs money to buy his way through to Parliament, again, has decided to spearhead this Gcnet Unipass scandal to rob the taxpayer of millions of dollars. We also have Carl Saki, who is the general manager, the general manager in charge of technical administration of Gcnet, questioned the government's rationale in the deployment of the Unipass single window. He also went on to tell Ghanaians how the Deputy Finance Minister, KWEKU, how the Deputy Finance Minister lied to Ghanaians about the contract of Unipass. We also how Unipass failed at the various ports. How Unipass failed at the various ports. We saw it on TV for over 48 hours because they do not have the technical know-how to operate this paperless system. Paperless is the word here, and the Vice President has been very vocal when it comes to paperless issues. We saw agents of our ports. They were stranded and pleaded with the government to reinstall Gcnet at our ports because they know and believe Gcnet have what it takes to make paperless system at our ports effective. Others have asked the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, some simple questions after the misinformation from this government. They asked a lot of questions. They asked the Vice President, why did he, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, approve the contract agreement? Yes. Why did he approve the contract agreement between Government of Ghana and Unipass, which states that in the event of early termination of the agreement or contract between Government of Ghana and Unipass, or in the event that Unipass exercises its right to terminate this agreement due to any material breach by the Government of Ghana and in the absence of any material default by the contractors of the agreement, the Government of Ghana shall compensate. It's in the contract. The Government of Ghana shall compensate the contractor for any loss in accordance with the scale as set out below within a year of commencement date. That means $92 million. Yes, we're talking about if we breach, which we might have, we have to pay Unipass $92 million. Some of the questions were, where in Ghana or Africa has Unipass system been demonstrated effectively? Yes, where in Ghana or in Africa has the Unipass system been demonstrated and has worked effectively? Some of the questions too are, Unipass has claims it has a superior end-to-end system which is better than Gcnet. Now, has Unipass demonstrated to the EMT cabinet, customs and etc. that it can effectively run the system without any hitches? Afloghanese, these are solid, precise questions the Vice President needs to answer. Some of the questions too are, why has government written to Gcnet and West Blue to hand over their equipment when the government says Unipass has a more sophisticated system than Gcnet? What has happened to the report submitted to the President of the land, Nana Addo KWEKU, on the Unipass deal and the danger it posed for Ghana? My fellow Ghanaians, let's take our time. Let's focus and we understand the issues today. Forget about the jargons and English. I'm here to break things down for you to understand that this deal by OSAFO for the President and DUBIOUS and also the Deputy Finance Minister KWARTENG is a scam to dupe Ghana $92 million. With all due respect, so one might ask, where from Gcnet and Unipass? Yes, it's a very valid question. Where from Gcnet and Unipass? So let's do a little bit of history here. Let's start with Gcnet. In 2002, the then Rawlings government initiated steps for the establishment of a system as Ghana looked at automating its ports operation. The Kufuor administration implemented the full rollout between 2002 and 2006, including establishing the Ghana Community Network Service Limited, that's Gcnet, and since then, successive governments have built upon it. So Rawlings actually had the idea, he brought it out, Kufuor came in, and Kufuor actually rolled it out. So it's a successive government initiative. Now, it has deployed an efficient Ghana custom management system, I'm talking about Gcnet, for GRA together with its Integral Trade Facilitation Single Window Platform, which we call the TFP, for use by various stakeholders. Now, presently, 48 agencies use the single window. All these windows are being managed by Gcnet and its partners. Fellow Ghanaians, let's focus. Now, the question is, does Gcnet have a contract with the government of Ghana? Now, let me do this one. Yeah. So Gcnet has a valid contract which expires in 2023. In 2013, in Ghana, the renewal of the Gcnet mandate after the initial 10 years, instead of another straight 10 years renewal, the contract stipulated an initial 5 years period with provision of a midterm review. If Gcnet met some contractual obligations, it would invoke an automatic 5 years extension. So Gcnet has been signing contract with Ghana. You remember, Gcnet has been around since Rawlings' time, over 20 years. So they've been signing contracts with previous governments. And basically, it was supposed to be a 10-year contract. But now, the NDC administration said that they were going to give them a 5-year contract, and that if they see that they meet the target, they are able to prove themselves well, because no matter how much you're doing as a company, you need a target. You need to be progressing. So, and then we need to look in your books and check how you are meeting the standard, the contractual obligations and all that. And then before the NDC government left power, they looked into all these things and realized that they have met all the necessary obligations. In fact, they have made decent money, they made profit for the government of Ghana. So they extended this for another 5 years, making it 10 years. So as I speak, Gcnet as a company has a valid contract with the government of Ghana. Now, this is where the friction or the confusion is. This government came to office, and as usual, everything has been bloated. That's the statement of this government. Every single project, from Settlement Housing Project, from day one, we are investigating. It has been bloated. Somebody has stolen money. It's been 4 years. Nothing has happened. Then we can go to the health sector, the hospitals, the clinics, the general hospitals. The same statement. It has been bloated. We are looking into it. To date, we're still looking into it. So it's a normal ritual by this government to say that contracts have been overbloated or some people have stolen from Ghana, so we are investigating. That is the confusion and the contention between the government of Ghana now and the past administration. Now, my fellow Ghanaians, let's not forget that this same government led by the vice president, the paperless man, you should not forget that the vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, commended the 56% increase in revenue after an implementation of the paperless port initiative in 2017, September. So this is the MPP government. We come into office, we say no, Gcnet's contract can be extended because they're not doing a great job. In 2017, the same vice president turns around and commends Gcnet, saying that their paperless system has worked effectively and that they have actually made, or their revenue had gone up 56% after the paperless system. Meaning Gcnet from 2000 all the way to 2020, they have upgraded their system. Meaning they have moved from the manual and they have upgraded it to the level whereby it is to the highest peak, whereby they can actually operate the paperless system. And it was confirmed by the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. These are open documents that people can go and check. And the Vice President said emphatically, explicitly to Ghanaians that they have made 56% and that he's lauding or he's commending Gcnet for using the paperless system to get to this point. And remember, Gcnet has been in the system for a very, very long time. Now, the Ghana Shippers Authority and AGI attest to a significant cut in the reduction of demurrage by 19.6 in the 2017 and attributed this factor to the paperless initiative. But we have to understand that from 2002 all the way to 2019 to 2020, Gcnet has handled our ports, our borders, everything, DVLA, all the system, the technology. It has been Gcnet. So if anybody attributes success in that field, creating revenue, it means Gcnet's system has been upgraded, or is the system taking care of the paperless system, whatever you want to call it. It means that all the things that the Vice President is saying and other institutions saying, that they're trying to tell Ghanaians that, you know what, Gcnet can do the job because the paperless system we've been talking about, they have passed the test. Vice President who is leading this technological advancement policy agenda comes out to actually praise Gcnet, which we all see, and there are facts there for us to check. And the next day they turn around to say, no, Gcnet is not upgraded to the point whereby they can take care of the paperless system. This is a lying Vice President. And I'm not going to mince words, because you can't say something yesterday and today you turn around and say something else, because this is the time we need to know the truth. We have to also understand that Gcnet is a joint venture public-private partnership. That's what we call the PPP, which the government of Ghana holds 35%. I'm talking about Gcnet. We Ghana, the government of Ghana, we have 35% share of shareholding through investment made in the company by the government of Ghana, or the Ghana Revenue Authority. So we have invested a lot as a country into Gcnet. Remember, what it means here is any money Gcnet makes, we get 35% out of it. If they make $1, they make a cent, they make a kobo, you get 35% out of that money. Everything that they bring in as a company, government of Ghana charges Gcnet. So you have to understand that either way, government of Ghana is making money out of Gcnet, and Gcnet is making a lot of revenue for government of Ghana. This is simple. We should not make this thing so complicated, confuse people. Gcnet and government of Ghana are in partnership. Every money Gcnet makes at a port, from gas, custom, whatever, we make 35%. Obviously, we make that money. And also, if Gcnet is bringing anything, equipment, software to Ghana to install, whatever, as partners, we charge them, we tax them for those things. So you have to understand that something good was going on. Something good was going on. But some people like OSAFO MARFO, some people like the Obuasi West MP, KWEKU, ignorant so like that. And some people like DUBIOUS and the first gentleman of the land, Nana Dankweku, for the people don't know. I said in part 2, I will show videos, I will show pictures, I will show meetings, I will show minutes of what has transpired behind the scenes. People want to sell Ghana before they retire, but we will not allow that. Now, what has been the gains from Gcnet system? Basically, what have they gained? What have they done? What are the positives? What have we also made from Gcnet as a country? Now, this is it. The gains from the recent 100% paperless spot process significantly improved the ease of doing business ranking in 2018. Now, Gcnet dividends to government agencies in 2017 was 15 million cedis. Now, between January to May 2018, the total revenue collected stands at 6 million Ghana cedis, with additional revenue collected from the domestic tax revenue division amounting to 65.5 million in 2017, saving from the introduced LOC and all that. Now, Ghanaians are asking, what's the coverage of Gcnet infrastructure? Yes, it's a simple question. What are the coverage, or what is the coverage of Gcnet infrastructure? Let me show you something. Now, there's one thing you have to understand. The coverage of Gcnet system in clearance process is very, very expansive in an end-to-end value chain. The systems, as you can see, the systems cover all customs regimes. It also covers 97% of official custom trade. Gcnet system process more than 500,000 import declaration per year. More than 500,000. These are the gains of Gcnet. Basically, if he was a football player you were going to buy, these are his. If you're reading his profile, this is what he has been able to achieve. These are some of the gains, not all. Some of the gains. Now, some of the gains were processed in excess of 900 active declarants per year using the platform. Meaning their platform is very effective, and they've been able to even do things that other countries, other companies have not been able to do. And they have the track record. Now, they cover 2 seaports in Ghana, 1 airport, 7 border posts, 16 regions. These are their gains. They cover 2 seaports, 1 airport, 7 border posts, and 16 regions. Some of the gains of Gcnet is Gcnet system is available at 22 DVLA offices countrywide. 22. More than 600 active custom officers they work with. Gcnet system is configured for all paperless process and transaction. Remember this word, all paperless processes and transaction. So it means that Gcnet system is not an outdated system. It's a current updated system which is able to take care of paperless process easily. So what do you think will make a government official sit down and say, upon all these gains that we've listed here, will say that, you know what, we should get rid of Gcnet? Because the main idea is we wanted a company that can sustain the paperless system, or that can run it effectively. And Gcnet has proven. And the Vice President, Dr. Bauma, came out to tell Ghanaians that Gcnet is the guy. They are the deal, because they made over 56 or 65% increment in revenue because of their paperless system. So at the end of the day, the chaff we wanted to get out, Gcnet is doing it already. So why do you think we bring a company from Korea to take over Gcnet's job? The company, we don't even know what they have done, their gains, we don't know, their track record, we don't know. We don't know anything positive about this government, this company. In fact, this company has a track record of defrauding governments. If you go to Sierra Leone, they have defrauded the Sierra Leone government, and they're in courts now. So it is a criminal entity coming into Ghana to do us, basically. But we'll get to that. Now, does Unipass also have a contract? So now let's talk about Unipass. And this is Unipass, which was brought in by OSAFO MARFO, the Deputy Finance Minister, KWEKU or Obuasi West MP. Gabriel Sorry, the president. You don't know, because in part 2, I'm going to show people stuff. This country will bow to these criminals. I'm telling you, these are serious stuff. There are some names I'm going to produce in the part 2. People will be shocked. You are following the wrong names. Now, the question is, does Unipass also have a contract with the government of Ghana? On March 29, 2018, the Ministry of Trade and Industry signed a 10-year sole source contract with Ghana Link Network Service Limited and its overseas partners, KWEKU, Korea Customs Service, to take over the Ghana National Single Window with a newly built customized superior system. Don't be confused. It is simple. The Ghana government signed a contract with Unipass. All these names, don't let them confuse you. We have to understand that when the government of Ghana, when the government of Ghana in 2018 was signing this new contract with the Korean company Unipass, they knew they were breaking international laws and that it will cost Ghana taxpayer money. They ignored all the warning signs and went ahead to sign the contract. Yes, because before they were signing the contract with Unipass, they had a valid contract with Gcnet, and they had even come out to commend Gcnet for making so much money for the government of Ghana, for Gcnet using the paperless system, which is effective, running, simple, and smooth, and that we are making good money. And it was the vice president, not anybody else or Kevin Taylor. The vice president himself came out to commend Gcnet. But today, what are we seeing? At the same time, the government of Ghana is commending Gcnet. The vice president commending Gcnet. Telling Gcnet that your paperless system is out of the roof. They were signing a contract with Unipass, and that is shocking. Now, the question would be, why will a government made up of intellects and lawyers ignore such basic and dangerous warning to seal such a deal? So it comes back to the same questions. Does Unipass bring anything better to the table than Gcnet? Because I don't know what will convince the government to say that upon all the commendations and all the praise they have for Gcnet, they will sign a contract with Unipass, with a company which does not have any track record, a company which is in court for defrauding nations, a company which is not going to pay taxes to the ordinary Ghanaian. Why do you think a government will do that? Now, Unipass, on the other hand, will provide the trade facilitation and customs management system at 0.75% fee. They will provide that at 0.75% fee per their 10-year sole source contract with the Ministry of Trade. I'm going to break down to you. Now, this means that Ghanaian importers will be paying about $180 million for the Unipass system at the end of the company's 10-year contract with Ghana, based on the current import volumes. Now remember, we've been told by the trade minister, we've been told by the vice president that Ghana is growing. It's one of the fastest growing economies in West Africa or Sub-Saharan Africa. Now, this estimation of 10 years, we losing about $180 million is not static, because what is happening is the probability of our economy growing and our ports expanding and us making more money is higher, meaning the 180 is not even enough. We might be paying above 250 million, because we've been told that the paperless system is going to smoothen the process. The paperless system is going to, in fact, attract other countries to be using our ports. The paperless system is going to make things smoother so that we can generate more money. So even the 180 million, to me, I think that was a very, very small estimate. If we are trying to open it up and going by the words of the finance minister, going by the words of the trade minister, and going by the words of the vice president, Dr. Baumia, it means you might be paying more than 180 million to these people. You'll be losing that money. Yes. Now, this figure is extremely higher than what the existing vendors, Gcnet and West Blue, these are the partners, the two partners, are currently receiving as fee. Now, we should also understand that Unipass says it will take them over 2 years to develop and implement a new single window system in Ghana. 2 years, 24 months, to be able to develop a new single window system in Ghana. This is a system being run effectively by Gcnet. It doesn't make any sense. This new company coming in, you told us that Gcnet does not have the most sophisticated system to run our ports. We are losing money. You're the same person commended Gcnet a few years ago. Now you say you are bringing a new company, and that company says that, you know what, I can't take care of this thing. It will before I can put all these things together, it's going to give me 2 years. 2 years. So the question is, within that 2 years, whose software are you going to use? Are you going to use Gcnet, or you are going to go use some other system? Because this new company you were telling us are more efficient, have better softwares, are more effective in collecting revenues from our ports. They say they can't put together the software till 2 years' time. Gcnet is doing this. So the question is, are you going to ask Gcnet to give this your Korean company Unipass their software to run the ports? Gcnet will be insane and stupid to do that. Because remember, any equipment, any software, any system, material, personnel they bring into this nation, they pay taxes to the government of Ghana. They have paid their dues. You say they can't do the job. You want to terminate their contract, which is illegal. You are bringing somebody to come and take Gcnet software to run your job. Nobody does that. And you see, simple logic. You can't go buy a car, buy BMW. Then I have a Tico. Then you tell me that your BMW is better. It has seat warmer. It has back rear camera. It has backup. It has everything. My Tico doesn't have that. Then you tell me that you want to travel to Accra. So I should give you the engine in my Tico to put in your BMW to drive to Accra. It does not make sense, because why do you tell me you have backup, you have this, you have that, all these features, but you cannot make the trip to Accra, and that you will need me, the Tico, which does not have a backup camera, you don't have seat warmer, you will need that Tico's engine to run your BMW. This is the most insane thing to hear in 2020. My fellow Ghanaians, let's focus. The question is simple. Does Gcnet pay tax dividends to the government of Ghana? As I told you, Gcnet is not exempted from any tax payment. Unlike Unipass, every transaction that goes on at all our ports, Gcnet pays taxes to the government of Ghana. When Gcnet brings in equipment to upgrade or update their system in Ghana, they pay taxes on each of them. So you have to understand that these guys have done their part. These guys are helping us more than Unipass, which will be, Unipass will be exempted from all taxes. What will be the cost of the taxpayer when government terminates the contract of Gcnet? It is simple. The cost of the taxpayer is in excess of over $120 million. Yes, when government terminates the contract between government of Ghana and Gcnet, you are going to lose over $120 million and a further $250 million for the cost of the infrastructure and related intellectual property rights. So this is not a joke, my fellow Ghanaians. These things cooked by the president, OSAFO MARFO, the deputy finance minister, and DUBIOUS. It is crazy, but there's a catch. You see, they've opened a small window. They're going to get through to meet that money. Now, why do I ask a question about the cost to the taxpayer in case this government terminates the contract of Gcnet? So we're talking about possible breaches by the government of Ghana. Simple. It is possible breaches by the government of Ghana. We are talking about possible breaches by the government of Ghana. Now, Gcnet is registered with the Data Protection Commission as a data handler as required by the Data Protection Act 843. And it is also registered with the Ministry of Communication through the National Communication Authority, that's the NCA, the National Information Technology Agency, that's NITA, NITA, under the Electronic Communication Act 775. Now, Unipass is not registered under any, the Korean Unipass, they are not registered under any of these, and serious doubt still linger over the prosperity of the sole sourcing approach to procure its services, as the government failed to meet the listed 6 criteria for activating that option. From the start, Unipass, yes, from the start, Unipass has been a scam. If you go back to do the procurement checks, everything, they don't even have a license. And it was cooked by OSAFO MARFO and the president, DUBIOUS, and the deputy finance minister, KWEKU, my own MP, Obuasi West MP. Criminal. But you know what? On the other hand, government, meaning OSAFO MARFO and KWEKU together, leading this crime, have put together one of the biggest crimes in the history of this nation, because the value of Unipass contract for its 10-year lifespan is $40 million. $40 million. That's how they cooked the deal. However, for any compensatory reliefs to Unipass in the event of any breaches to agreed terms of the contract, government through the taxpayer will pay in excess of 92 million as judgment debt to Unipass. And we have already signed a contract. If Unipass pulls out next month, we have to pay Unipass $92 million. Assuming Unipass was in full operation, as I just said, it will not be required to pay any dividends to government since it is a private entity compared to Gcnet, which is joint venture company with 35% government shareholding. Besides, no tax benefit will accrue to the government compared to an average of more than 40 million in statutory tax payments to the state. Now, don't get confused, relax. This will take us to the second episode, the procurement breaches and thievery that went into the signing of Unipass contract. My fellow Ghanaians, I will show documents, receipts, records, meetings, pictures and videos. Don't worry, I'm here. I'll give you all the facts. This Unipass Gcnet scandal cooked by OSAFO MARFO, the Deputy Finance Minister KWEKU, the President himself and DUBIOUS, I will expose this government. This is bigger than PDS. The President's office is seriously involved. OSAFO MARFO is in there. Remember, the Cronin Associates initiator, he is in there. Deputy Finance Minister and Obuasi Western KWEKU all took bribe, and all the other government officials involved in this deal. My fellow Ghanaians, this is just the part one of the biggest crime committed by the President Nanado, OSAFO MARFO, KWEKU, DUBIOUS, and etc. Everyone will be surprised when I bring out the part two. Ladies and gentlemen, I have told you, always focus. You always have to focus. And when you focus, you will understand. Today, I wanted to give you the history of Gcnet and Unipass. This is just the beginning. In the part two, I'll be breaking things down. The financial aspect, the crime, and how people managed or are managing to steal $92 million from us. My fellow Ghanaians, I've said, I'm just a messenger. A messenger without a Bible or a Quran in my hand. A messenger who is ready and willing to speak truth to power. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Taylor, and all that you hear here is with all due respect.